What does that do for a team that's trying to find success in the playoffs, that the blueprint that you've established all year proved that it works in the playoffs?
Well, yeah, I'd like to think that our 82 games of success is something that we did right, some things that we did right, but we weren't quite at it yesterday right away. It took us a while to kind of build. I thought the second period we weren't very good in the first. The second we got better, and then the third it was back to what you're talking about, playing good hockey. Yeah, I think that you can't get to this time of year and all of a sudden decide you're going to play a different way, and those are all the things that we've been talking about, harping about for the 82 games. When we got to this point, that we need to play that way, and we'll have success with doing it.
From the idea that in the playoffs the next game is the most important game and adjustments to go into it, two specific categories: penalty killing and face-offs. How did you like your work in game one and how that translates into game two?
Well, if you're asking me that question about those two categories, obviously we're going to go down that road. But penalty kill, we got to, we got over-aggressive actually. We talked about part of how we kill, but we got a little bit too aggressive and kind of left some openings. But the face-off part for me isn't. It's not on the centerman to win these draws clean. To me, there's a lot of 50-50 pucks, and that's something that. Throughout the season, we actually keep track of. We're number 10 in the league on 50-50 draw, and coming up with pucks. I thought last night we weren't very good. We were way below 50. We have to get back to that. Starting with pucks, it certainly changes the opposition. They have to go into defend mode when they do that. And certainly, we saw what happened when we win it. The Kyle Connor goal. So it is important. It is an area that we'll talk about. Penalty kill, like I said, those adjustments. Power play. There's adjustments that you have to make as the series moves on. We'll look at that stuff, and hopefully those areas get a little bit better tomorrow.
There was one right after the Alex Iafallo game-tying goal, and you sent out David Morgan and Jarrett. How much of a validation is that for what they did? And I don't think it was just about the goals, was it?
No, they. At the end of the day, we need our depth here. It's just if you plan on playing for a while in this postseason, you need your whole bench contributing, and we've done that all season long. And, put responsibility on those guys' shoulder. And really, it's I know the team has some top end players, but I'm confident if who's ever on the ice that they take care of the job, do the job that they need to do against those guys, and whether that's our fourth line or our top line. That's what you expect this time of year, and it's what we've done kind of all year. So those guys were good, and I need them to be good again tomorrow.
Scott, on the subject of calluses and lessons learned, you guys have been in this position before, up 1-0 in a series. Do you talk about that, and what lessons maybe do you take away from these last two playoff years where you had the 1-0 lead?
Well, I don't talk about that the last two playoff years because this is a different animal, a different year. But we have talked about all season long the next game. Did some homework today, did some post-game review, looked at some video, has some things we'll throw into tomorrow's meeting, but then pushed last night aside. It's done, it's over. It was its own game. Tomorrow we'll have a whole different look to it. I'm hoping that we have a better first period. But, we don't come out of the gate like we did. And, we've done a real good job this year of focusing on what's coming next. And that next game tomorrow is what we're zooming in on.
Tim Valley, when you're the team that's up 1-0, you're obviously expecting the other team to make some adjustments and changes. Is that where you're almost anticipating what adjustments to the adjustments have to be made? Or do you overthink it if you get
sounds like what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Like I said, over this goes 7 games. There's a lot of sort of back and forth that happens, but we're not overhauling our system or what we're doing against just because they're doing something. We ran into enough scenarios over 82 games where you're kind of seeing different things that come from different teams and how we handle them, and that's all part of that growth that we did over the course of the year to get us here, so that when we see something that's that they're doing, that we can make our adjustments and we make it on the fly. Sometimes we'll make between periods, sometimes we'll set it up for tomorrow night. But that's where our group is real good, recognizing how we need them to kind of play and make our adjustments and do those things that help us have success.
In the second and third periods, you guys got up the ice really well, probably better than in the first. And on Alex Iafallo's game-tying goal, we have Mark Scheifele doing low puck support and support all the way up the ice. So speaking of adjustments, was that one thing you guys needed to get to?
not giving away all the state secrets, but our first period we weren't real good coming out of our end. They were heavy on the forecheck. They came. They didn't try to be disrespectful. They didn't try to, beat us coming through the neutral zone. They got pucks in and they went on the forecheck, which, obviously this time of year we didn't get a lot of those rush opportunities either. But I thought we did a better job in the second period and the third of our 5-minute breakouts, us supporting, coming back, playing fast. Those are all things that, when we're on our game, we're doing well. It also leads you to play in your end and make a lot more. We just, like I mentioned, that first period, we weren't crisp. We were a little nervous. We weren't didn't execute as well as we usually do, and it had a lot to do with our breakouts.
On a play like that, can Mark Scheifele, I don't want to make too big of a thing, but can these playoffs maybe announce to the world that he's developed that side of his game where he can be a standard bearer starting from his goal line?
I've seen it for 82 games that that's part of what he does. He recognizes that he needs to be a part of the defending side, and then he also needs to be a part of that low breakout. And now we play, our centers are big on the underneath support. And that's what he did there, and it just I've seen him do it all year long, and that's something that he's good at, and he has quickness. Especially for centermen to come out of the hole from deep down below, whether you're defending or whether you're on a breakout. Those guys are coming from almost the goal line, and he uses his quickness and his ability to get up the ice in a hurry.
Scott,
Having
I just
Gallardi
wanted-
out there during the optional skate, albeit in the yellow jersey, how much of a good step is that towards his possible return?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great that he's around it. He has been around here, but again, he just when I see that other jersey change color, then we'll start talking about it.
Scott, did you have a chance to watch him today? And if so,
No
what
chance. No, it's not an option. I usually run around and talk to guys after and see how it went. But I'm not. He's still in yellow. We'll just let that kind of roll, and that color changes.
Just a couple housekeeping. See, Rasmus was out there in a regular sweater. So is he considered cleared and good to go now?
Yeah. Now we can go back to some contact. Go back to being. Now he has to miss some hockey, some practices. So now we have to get him up and running and get some conditioning.
Just one other guy, Joey missed a couple days
Bill
ago.
he has a little bit of an issue there, something that's kind of nagging him here. So we're just trying to give him a couple of days to set some. A couple of days here where he doesn't feel well.
Scott, if I can just go back to that comment you made about the adjustment between the first and second, or how the game changed. How much does Connor Hellebuck's puck handling aid in that, in terms of saving your defenseman from a hit or two, and also maybe expediting the zone exits?
That's huge, and that's something we started 3 years ago. Goalies, they handle the puck sometimes more than some of the forwards do, and it is a huge part of it. You watch Bennington; he's really good at it. Our game plan the other way is don't let him touch the puck to get them started. So I'm sure St. Louis is same kind of thing. But when it does come to Helly, there's stuff that we need to do. It was a little bit slow on it. It wasn't so much Helly. We were a little bit slow on where we needed to get to be the support, to be the outlet. But again, it got better and better as the game went on.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.